Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in the shop. We're going to do a little upgrade / maintenance to the old Tacoma here. I've got a 2019 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport, and a little backstory on it. When I bought it, it had a 2-inch spacer lift on it. Since then I've gone from add a leaf in the back, I raised another inch in the front with another 3-inch spacer, to now I've got Bilsteins all the way around it, and the Bilsteins in the front are adjustable and give me up to a 3-inch lift. All that to clear 33-inch tires. So, problem when you lift your truck like this is your ball joints. The upper control arms, they are not designed to be at that angle and still not kill your ball joints. So to remedy that, I reached out to KSP Performance and asked them if I could try out a set of their new upper control arms that has the correct geometry for Tacomas with 2 to 4-inch lifts. They said sure, they sent them out to me. So today I'm going to go over a little install and kind of show you how these actually look with the right geometry versus the stock ones. A little bit about these upper control arms. They are forged steel. They have a lifetime warranty on the craftsmanship. They have a 1-year warranty on the ball joint, which is replaceable and serviceable. So you can take this dust cap off the top here and grease it. Also, they come with grease zerks, one on each side, so you can grease your bushings regularly. So that will prevent premature wear. So far, I like what I see. I'll go over and I'll show you guys everything that comes in the kit with these, and then we'll get into the install. Came with really good directions. I was pretty impressed. They're actually even in color. So it goes through step by step and explains how to install these. So good on you, KSP, for having decent directions, because as most of you know, you guys try to do this stuff and the directions are just ridiculous. Along with the kit, it comes with the grease zerks. It comes with some grease to kind of pre-lube your bushings and everything. Comes with the new nut for your ball joint. The sleeves that go inside the bushings for the bolt that goes all the way through. And the 2 upper control arms themselves. So one other thing, the packaging was really good. I was surprised too. They were bubble wrapped. Everything was great. They even put this protective cover over that stud right there, and that's for a ABS line, I do believe, that bolts on top of there. So even the hardware for those studs. So full complete kit. So it seems like you've got everything you need to install these. So I'm going to get the wheels off the truck, get her jacked up and everything, and we'll start the install. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this bolt that holds the bracket on for your ABS line here. So that's a 10 millimeter. We'll get that removed. Okay, the next step, if we got this removed, is we are going to loosen this castle nut here on the upper ball joint. They should have a cotter pin that goes through here to keep this from spinning, but I've just noticed mine is missing. So I don't know, when I replaced it the last time, I must not have got it in there good, but this points out a good point to always go back and kind of check over your work. So somehow that's fallen out. But this is a 19 millimeter nut right here. We're going to go ahead and get that removed. But do not remove it all the way. Take it down to where it's got a couple more threads left on it, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So I've got this loose, but I left it. You can see I didn't take it all the way off. Reason being, this upper control arm is under a little bit of tension. When I smack this with a hammer to release it, I don't want this thing to fly up or anything, so this bolt or this nut will catch it. So we'll go ahead and get a hammer and we'll strike this right here, and it should release the upper ball joint from the knuckle itself. Just like that, 2 hits. You can see it separated right there. Now we'll go ahead and slowly remove the rest of this castle nut. All right, guys, one thing I forgot to point out, very important. I've got, not only do I have my truck on jack stands, but I've got a jack underneath the lower control arm to support all this. So as you can see, we've got the ball joint released from the steering knuckle. Now we're going to take these rain guards out right here. Should be able to pop them out and then get to the bolt that holds in the upper control arm itself. All right, so we got the splash guards. I just pulled them down and out of the way. On each side here, sorry for the shadows, but so the next step is we're going to remove this nut off the bolt back here. So this is a 19 millimeter, and on the other side, this is a 19 millimeter. If you haven't ever watched any other videos on how to replace these upper control arms, this is a beaut right here. So obviously it wasn't planned when Toyota was building the trucks, but this bolt has to come out this way. And this pinch seam right here is definitely in the way. So I've seen guys do everything from cut these bolts, replace them with new ones. You can put them in from the other side, or what I'm going to do, and I've seen a lot of people do too, is just basically bend this pinch weld, or the seam right here, bend it out enough just to get the bolt all the way through, and then you can bend this back, and I'll put the bolt in through the other side when I put it all back together. But one thing to be careful of is there's this line right here, and sorry about the shadows here, but there's a line right here, and then on the back side there is a wire loom. It's got some wires in it. So when you grab this, I'm probably just going to use like a pry bar or maybe some vice grips and try to pull this out. I don't think it's going to take much to pull it out, but just be aware of those so you don't tear anything up. So we'll get the bolt out of there and see about bending some stuff up. All right, well, got the upper control arm off. I'll show you in just a second what I had to do to bend that out. That was not as easy as hoping it would be, but it's manageable, let's say that, if you don't mind bending that little seam there. But as you can see here, here's the old ball joint. And I was getting some popping every once in a while when the suspension would droop. That's basically because the A-arm sitting on the truck like this was way down and the ball joint was pulled way out, so it's not much travel. But as you can see, my truck has 78,000 miles on it. This ball joint is, yeah, she's shot. So I'll show you what I had to do inside the fender well here to remove that bolt. All right, so the A-arm, the bolt goes through the back behind the shock here. And it had to come out this way. And as you can see right in here, I really had to bend that up. I should be able to flatten it back out with a hammer pretty decently. And then you'll never see this because the splash guard, it'll flip back over there. You won't see it if it's not perfect. But basically the bolt had to go, from behind there all the way up into the engine bay there. So like I said, you got this line, you've got another electrical line that's back in here. It's inside this one right here. So it's inside that wire loom. I'll be able to pop it back into place as well. And there's one other line, this line right back here, that you have to watch out for as you're sliding it through. But yeah, we got it out, and time to install the new upper control arm. I'll take you over to the bench and show you how we're going to put that all together. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to just put a little grease on these sleeves inside there so the sleeve will fit inside the bushing, and grease the bushing up just a little bit on the outside so everything pops in real good there. So they do give you a little pack of grease to help with that process, so thank you for that. Like I said, this will just kind of help things slide together a little better. Put a little bit on the sleeve here. Yeah, really nice and easy. We'll see about this. Perfect. All right, repeat that on the other side. All right, now that we've got the bushings in and everything, we're going to install the grease certs. So one thing I've seen people report as they're breaking these off, I haven't had any trouble. I mean, went right in, and I'm just going to barely, lightly snug it. It's a 9mm. Those don't have to be like crammed in there, but just a slight little snug, and you're good to go. So we'll repeat that on the other side as well. All right, so now we've got the bushings and everything put in. This is going to slide over just like this. Pay attention to that, the ABS cable there, but we are going to just reinstall. It has 2 washers on each side on the new upper control arm, where the old one only had 1. So make sure you account for that as well. But I'm going to struggle and get this bolt back through here, and we'll show you once I get the bolt in and everything tightened down. All right, guys, so as you can see, I've got everything put back together. Bolt all the way back through. You can see right there, it's it's a lot better to get in there. Got the ABS brake line mounted back up. What I will do, once I get it on the ground and everything, I'll come back, and this bolt here should be 65 to 75 foot-pounds torqued, and this is supposed to be torqued to 100. So I'll come back in and get those torqued up, back to spec and everything. But not a bad install. I think the hardest thing was just getting this part right here bent out and getting that bolt out. That's pretty tricky, but very doable. Like I said, as long as you don't mind bending this up a little bit. I think I'm gonna still go back and take a hammer. I got a spot right here that needs a little touch up right there, but for the most part, the splash guard right here is gonna cover anything. I may go back with some black paint where I scrape a little bit just to prevent rust. But other than that, not a bad install. I like the way they look, and I'm excited to see how they ride. So with that, I just want to give a big shout out. Thank you to KSP Performance for sending these to me to try out. I want to thank you all for watching along. If you like this video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a lot more stuff going on with this truck this year. So please subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of that content as well. I'll leave a link to KSP, to their website, their Instagram, all that good stuff in the description below. And we'll see you guys on the next one.